Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. I'm Cassidy. If you're new here, welcome. It's really nice to meet you, and if you are returning, welcome back. It's good to see you again. So today's going to be kind of a different video than what I usually record. It's going to be, instead of just my thoughts and summary on one book, it'll be my thoughts on a series as a whole. It's going to be on the Mortal Instruments series, but just the first half. So that would be City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. And the reason I'm doing it on just the first three of the series is because the City of Glass, it felt like a finale. So I figured, why not? Let's do my thoughts on the series so far. So there's no real rhyme or reason or order to my thoughts, so it may feel like I'm jumping around a lot, and that's probably because I am, and I apologize for that. Before you watch this video, I highly recommend that you read these books, City of Bones, Ashes, and Glass, or at the very least, watch my videos that are summaries about those books. I will link them down below, because otherwise, if you haven't read it and you haven't seen my videos, at least one of them, this video is going to be mighty confusing. Well, this video is different than my other ones. The one thing that is pretty standard is I will be referring back to a notebook. So if you see me look down or off to the side, I'm just making sure I'm telling you guys everything that I thought about it. So yeah, let's get into it. Mortal Instruments series, but part 1 only. It's by Cassandra Clare. And again, that is City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass. So my thoughts on the first half of the series as a whole is that it's kind of cringy, but I also still really love it. It's YA, so young adult. It's a young adult series, so whenever I read young adult, I always expect at least a little bit of cringe. But again, I love young adult. It has such a special place in my heart, and it still does. And I still really enjoy to read them, even being in my late 20s. But yeah, I always expect a little bit of cringe. I love that even with just the first half of the series, you can see such growth in all of the characters. Simon, for starters, he learned how to put his feelings and himself above Clary's feelings and Clary herself. He still loves Clary, but he learned that he has to choose himself. He can't let Clary play with him anymore. Not that she was doing it maliciously, of course, but he chose to choose himself, and I love that for him. Clary became stronger and grew a harder, shell. Isabel, grew softer, and she learned to, let her shell and her walls down a little bit and be a little softer. Jace learned to accept that his father, the man who raised him, was the bad guy. And while he might not fully accept it, he's at least starting to. And he's not on his father's side, but at the end of the third book, Luke told Jace that it was okay to miss his dad, and I think that he really does. So I like that he realizes that it's okay that he misses him. And Alec, of course, maybe had the biggest transformation, and he learned to accept himself in being gay and loving a downworlder, a warlock named Magnus. It is really interesting that after you finish reading the third book, it feels like it's the final book. It feels like the story is pretty much over. I know people who only read the first 3 books and didn't realize that they were missing anything else. And I'm sure there are far more people out there that haven't read the final 3 books and don't know how the series actually ends. Not that this is a bad ending, though. There are a few questions, but it's pretty good still. But with City of Glass feeling like it's the final book in a trilogy, it makes me wonder if it was only supposed to be these 3 books. I mean, the big bad guy died. All of the ships are together. Clary and Jace aren't siblings, and they're together. Alec and Magnus are together because Alec learned to accept his feelings and accept who he is. And then Jocelyn and Luke have finally confessed to each other and are together. So what more is there? So was that supposed to be it? Was it only going to be those 3 books? I do love this world, though, that she created of the Shadowhunters and Downworlders and everything. So I am really glad that she continued, and she's made so many spin-off series on it, and I'm really happy about that. But I can't help but wonder if it was only supposed to be a trilogy and then she was going to move on. I do really wish that Clary had some combat training. It would have happened in the second book, because that was really the only time it could have happened, but girl did not know how to fight, and that would have been so helpful. And then I wish Magnus had a bigger role to play in these 3 books. He appeared in all 3, and obviously he's Alec's love interest, but I wish he had a bigger role to play. If I remember correctly, he does play a bigger role in the next 3 books. And I know that there's a trilogy that's just about Magnus and Alec, but still, your girl loves Magnus, and I just wish there was more of him. Also, I didn't realize this the first time I had read the series, but after rereading it and knowing the big secret that Clary and Jace aren't actually related, and that Jace will always pick his actual family, not his biological father, over everything. The second book, City of Ashes, is so frustrating because it's all about, like, Clary and Jace trying to come to terms with the fact that they're siblings, and everyone's accusing Jace of being in cahoots with Valentine. It's just a very frustrating book overall. But only after you've read the series already is the second book so frustrating. But I'm like, I know it. Why don't you guys? Why can't you pick it up? And there were clues along the way that Jace and Clary weren't siblings, but still, it wasn't confirmed that they weren't siblings until the end of book 3. Going off of that, I don't know how to feel about Cassandra Clare basically encouraging us to want a sibling duo to be together and be a couple, because the way it's written, and again, I already knew that they weren't siblings, so every time they kissed or they, like, told each other how they felt about each other, I got really giddy and happy. If you believe that they're siblings and they're having all these moments and it's written in a way that you want it to happen, it's a little weird. Like, why are you encouraging this? I can't help but wonder with the next 3 books. Again, I've already read them, but I actually don't remember them super well. Like, I can't tell you how it ends right now off the top of my head. Like, the series, all 6 books as a whole, I can't tell you how it ends. But I can't help but wonder with the next 3 books, are all the relationships going to go through hard times? Like, are they going to break up? Is one half of the duo going to get hurt? That's how TV shows, like, keep people engaged, I feel like. After the relationship that you wanted for so long, after they finally get together, what do you do? I always love the TV shows that find external factors where the couple works together to, like, overcome it instead of the couple working against each other. But a lot of TV shows, that's what they do. They'll break the couple up, or one half of the couple will get hurt. And that's how they keep viewership, and that's how they keep people engaged. So is that what Cassandra Clare is going to do as well? I do have a few questions that I hope will be answered in the next 3 books of the series. Simon, throughout the series, has had a few different love interests, but at the end of the 3rd book, it's very obvious that he kind of has a thing with Maya, the werewolf, but also he has a really big thing with Isabel, the shadow hunter. So is he going to choose either one of them? Is he going to choose neither of them? Like, what's going to happen with those 3? And then Clary put the mark of Cain on him to save his life from the vampires. How is that going to affect his everyday life? Is it at all? Like, what's going to happen with that? Also, they already defeated the big bad, Valentine, so who's going to be the next one? Is it going to be Sebastian, or I guess Jonathan, Clary's brother, Valentine's actual biological son? We thought that Jace had unalived him, but when they went to retrieve the body wasn't there. The other shadow hunter said he probably just washed into the lake, but did he really die? Probably not. But did he? Is he going to be the next big bad or someone else? Also, at the very end of the 3rd book, the Fairy Queen asks Clary for a favor, which Clary refuses. Is the Fairy Queen going to retaliate against Clary for some reason? That doesn't seem to be her shtick, like where they don't hold grudges, and it doesn't matter if they like a person or not. But is she going to retaliate against Clary for not doing what she asked? Or is Clary going to regret not taking her up on that offer? Overall, again, cringy, but such a cute series. And there are, like, little critiques throughout, mainly the encouraging of us wanting siblings to be a couple, even though they weren't siblings, and I get that, but still, you assume that they're siblings throughout the 2nd book and most of the 3rd, yet you still want them together, so a little weird. But overall, there's not a ton of critiques I have, but again, I haven't finished the entire series, so once I do, I'll make another video, and it'll be about the entire 6 books as a whole, so I'll probably have more critiques then. So let me know what you guys thought down below. Did you have similar views as me? Were you able to guess that they weren't siblings the first time around? Did you like the series, hate it? Let me know what you thought. Give the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!